You know, Donald Trump, the former president, appears to want his legacy to look a lot more like George Wallace before George Wallace had a change of heart. Like he wants to be Jesse Helms in the American memory, not Jimmy Carter, who is like known for building houses for the poor. What does it mean to have a former president say that he wants his post-presidency brand to be voter suppression?
You know, it's indicative of who he is. He built his entire presidential career on being a divider, of being a liar, of being someone who actually aligned himself with white supremacists and was a racist. And so I think that he has told us who he is, as my grandmother would say, if someone tells you they are, believe them. And so I think he has been very consistent with that. You know, what is really disheartening is that here we are 56 years after the voting rights movement, the very week that we celebrated Bloody Sunday when Black people were actually beaten on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And here we are literally facing this draconian bills that actually look like a snapshot of the Jim Crow era in the 1965.
You know, I watched the Vernon Jordan memorial today. It was a beautiful memorial. I mean, President Clinton spoke, and, you know, you think about he did the expansions of motor voter. You know, presidents normally want to enhance democracy. We're seeing the opposite now. But what does it mean for Georgia, the state that has, you know, the state you worked so hard in, that Stacey Abrams worked so hard in, that just had an historic election, its first Black senator, its first Jewish American senator. After all that history, for the response of the state legislature to be, let's make sure that they can never do it again. To you as an activist and an organizer, what does that do to you? Does it make you angry, more determined? What does that do to you and your activism?
You know, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm upset, but I am certainly determined. You know, I think that part of what we know historically in this country, whenever there has been Black progress, there's always been this group there's been a white backlash and this group of people who sought to actually stop the progress that's been happening. I think what we saw in 2020 was actually in response to the voter suppression that happened in 2018. You know, part of what I think racists often do is they underestimate the power and the determination of Black voters. And so it makes me extremely upset, more so than just looking at the legislature and what happened in Georgia. The lieutenant governor hid out in his office. You know, 5 of the Republican senators kind of excused themselves, and I didn't have the courage to stand up for it. But then, you know, it's very upsetting also that Georgia, that it tries to pride itself as being in Atlanta, the city too busy to hate, is not too busy to suppress. And so you've got a multinational company like Coca-Cola there that has a brand of $74 billion brand value that did not use its power to the extent to be able to bring this to, on one hand, say that they're for racial equity, and not leverage their political power to put pressure to make sure that didn't happen. So they had the opportunity, but they still do have an opportunity to stop this and come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank all of you out there.
Thank you as always.
Thanks to at home.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for letting us into your homes during these extraordinary times.